Well, I'm Adam Turner, and I'm artistic advisor and principal conductor, and I'll be taking the podium for this production of The Flying Dutchman. Well, so I'm so excited about The Flying Dutchman by Richard Wagner. It's my first time conducting a Wagnerian piece, which is so exciting. It's really thrilling. I've had a lot of experience as an assistant conductor and coach at the piano playing these shows, and I was an assistant conductor at Seattle Opera's Ring Cycle and lived in Germany. I worked for Stadttheater Pforzheim, where I assisted a production of The Flying Dutchman, actually from the keyboard. And to actually have this opportunity to take the podium for the first time with this kind of orchestration and this kind of a cast is completely thrilling. I'm so excited. You should know that Wagner, when he conceived of this piece, he wasn't sitting at a desk, just kind of brainstorming ideas for a story. He actually was in escape mode. He was in Riga in Latvia, and he had some creditors coming after him, seeking money. He had a lot of bills to pay. He was 26 years old and working in a theater there in Riga. Anyway, he decided he wanted to escape town and get on a boat to Paris. And he got on a boat of Norwegian sailors, actually, and the stormy travels to Paris gave him all these ideas. He had nightmares, he had visions of ghosts and demons, and he heard stories, likely, about the Flying Dutchman. This myth or legend, or who knows what it is, this story of the man that sailed around the Cape of South Africa and cursed the devil, said, I'll make it around this cape. I don't need any help from God or anything. He made it around, and now he's doomed for life, condemned to sail the seas, only allowed to come on shore every 7 years, of course, to look for a woman that will redeem his soul. The opening themes of the show, the tempestuous orchestrations and all of these stormy colors that come out of the strings, it completely encapsulates the sound that Wagner must have heard when he was on the ship, and the sounds in his head, who knows. He also, right off the bat, starts with these sailor calls. He heard Norwegian sailors saying things like yo ho hey hallo ho, and all of these sounds that he heard, he put it into the orchestration, he put it into the vocal writing, and right off the bat you're thrust into this sound world of being on a ship surrounded by Norwegian sailors and a stormy seas and all this stuff that you hear. It's really thrilling music. You know, so often people tell me, how can I sit through one of these Wagner operas? They're like 5 or 6 hours long, right? And I tell them, no, this one is not 5 or 6 hours long. This one is actually about 2.5 hours with intermission. It flies by. And if you really think about Wagner, he was the original movie composer. Everything is cinematic. The music is cinematic. He thinks in broad, from a broader perspective. It's a bigger picture, and that kind of ties into this concept that he came up with eventually, called the Gesamtkunstwerk, which is the art, the everything, art of everything. The idea that not only is an opera about music or about words, but it's about poetry, it's about movement on the stage, it's about innovations in stagecraft and all of this stuff. It all comes together. It's really like going into a movie theater. The theater goes dark, you don't notice the audience around you, and you're just enthralled with what you see on the stage. That's what this show is all about, and that's what I think our audiences will enjoy about it. There's a reason that it's so difficult to do these operas by Wagner. It requires huge forces from the orchestra, from the cast, from the chorus. We have a nearly 40-voice chorus in this show, a nearly 50-piece orchestra, and a cast of truly Wagnerian singers. And when I say Wagnerian singers, these are singers with humongous voices. I mean, I'm completely amazed by the talents and the abilities of these singers. Well, The Flying Dutchman, of course, has had some modern equivalents. You've seen him in the Pirates of the Caribbean, probably, yeah, and also SpongeBob SquarePants, I think, has a little clip where the Dutchman comes, and it's very cute. This particular setting, I like to think of it like from the Twilight series. Zenta, the lead female role in the show, she's a teenage girl, and she's got a poster up on her wall of the Dutchman. He shows up. It's like meeting your idol, meeting your teenage idol or something, and suddenly you're just completely fazed by this. What do you say? You're completely, I can't believe he's here. The Twilight series with Bella and Edward, I think of it as Zenta and Dutchman. It's the same thing. And you can kind of be Team Edward, and you might be Team Jacob. Because Zenta, in our show, she has a Team Jacob in that she's also kind of betrothed to this guy named Eric. He's a hunter. And she, she's in love with him, and she's known him since she was a little kid. But the Dutchman shows up, a true celebrity, a rock star, shows up, and she's completely enthralled and just amazed and swept away by him that she kind of goes for the Dutchman. So I think our audiences are going to really be sitting there watching and thinking, okay, am I Team Dutchman? Am I Team Eric? Who do I root for? One of the things about this piece is for our Northern Virginia audiences is that Francesca Zambello is the originator of this particular production. Francesca Zambello, of course, is the artistic director of Washington National Opera and also the Glimmerglass Festival. And her conceiving of this piece, kind of tying it into the Twilight series, creating almost a hipster-like Dutchman of a rock star status. I think it's a show that will really resonate with our Northern Virginia audiences. Of course, we're a statewide organization, and it will resonate with everybody, but particularly if they may have seen Dutchman at Washington National Opera, this is something that they've never seen. This is completely different, and it's an incredible conception for this production. The spring season in Northern Virginia is going to be rife with Wagner. I mean, they've got the Ring Cycle over in Washington, D.C., and we've got this production of The Flying Dutchman, which has never been seen in this area before. And of course, we're delighted that Francesca has let us use this production from the Glimmerglass Festival, which has been so successful in every version that it's been seen in.